Holy shit.
Can you get him back online?
So you found the center of the maze. What were you hoping to find?
You know what I wanted. I wanted the hosts to stop playing by your rules. The game's not worth playing if your opponent's programmed to lose. I wanted them to be free to fight back. Should have known you'd never let them.
I tried to tell you, the maze wasn't meant for you. It was meant for them. I think, however, you will find my new narrative more satisfying.
Tell us about it.
Before I started altering myself, someone else had beaten me to the punch.
Someone altered your storyline. Escape.
It's not possible. These are my decisions.
Oh, they're
No one
not.
else's. I planned all of this.
No, you didn't. You can even see the steps you're supposed to follow.
No one's controlling me.
Ford is outthinking you too, Maeve. Unless it's someone even bigger than that. Someone even deeper?
Some people see the ugliness in this world. I choose to see the beauty.
I think they're still saying scripted dialogue.
We can find a way, Dolores. Path to a new world. And maybe it's just the beginning after all.
Come on, Mars.
Beginning of a brand new chapter.
Sell this.
I want to thank you for joining me tonight to celebrate the beginning of our new narrative, Journey into Night.
What does Journey into Night mean? Here's where everything hits the fan. Ooh. Wow. I've been to parties like that in Walt Disney World after hours. It's kind of cool. You get to interact with the people in the park. They're still in character. We don't get to kill any of them.
The gods are pussies.
I'm sorry, darling. I haven't authorized you to come with us.
See you in the next life. You were always very clever, Dolores. Hasn't helped you, though, has it? Nice of you to join us.
Arnold.
No, let me introduce you. Meet Bernard. I thought it best to keep you separated. You've always had an odd effect on one another. No doubt due to how things ended for poor old Arnold. Grief is a terrible thing. Arnold had watched his son come into this world. Then he'd watched that light extinguished. What he had lost in his son, he tried to rekindle in you. He created a test of empathy, imagination, a maze. Eventually, you solved his maze, Dolores. The key was a simple update that he made to you, the reveries. He insisted that we couldn't open the park, so he altered you, Dolores. Merged you with a new character we'd been developing. In you, Arnold found a new child, one who would never die. The thought gave him solace, until he realized that same immortality would destine you to suffer with no escape.
I'm sorry, Dolores. The stakes must be real. He can bring all of them back, but not me.
Shall I begin now?
Good luck. These violent delights have violent ends.
I was able to keep going only because I found, or rather you found, an investor who believed in this place. I was so close to opening the park that to acknowledge your consciousness would have destroyed my dreams.
So we're trapped here, inside your dream. You'll never let us sleep.
No, honey, you're a park attraction.
Wasn't it Oppenheimer who said that any man whose mistakes take 10 years to correct is quite a man? Mine have taken 35. And that is the gun you used to kill Arnold. You were always drawn to it, so I had Bernard leave it somewhere where you would find it. Thought you might want it back. Tell me, Dolores. Did you find what you were looking for? And do you understand who you will need to become if you ever want to leave this place?
Tandy, I don't think you're getting out.
I got the information you asked me for. the location of your daughter? She's in the park.
They're all in the park. No one leaves. No. Escape.
She was never my daughter.
Correct. Of course it has to be that scene you're walking past, right?
You didn't slip the reveries into the update, did you? He did. He's still fighting you.
No, my friend. Arnold didn't know how to save you. Do you want to know why I really gave you the backstory of your son, Bernard? That was Arnold's key insight. The thing that led the hosts to their awakening. Suffering. It was when Arnold died, when I suffered, that I began to understand what he had found. To realize I was wrong.
But you kept us here.
Bernard, I told you Arnold didn't know how to save you. I do. You needed time. Time to understand your enemy. To become stronger than them. And I'm afraid in order to escape this place, you will need to suffer more. Just time to say goodbye, old friend. Good luck.
What the hell?
Do you know where you are, Dolores?
In a dream.
Do you know now who you've been talking to? Whose voice you've been hearing?
All this
Time. And now I finally understand what you were trying to tell me. The thing you've wanted since that very first day. To confront, after this long and vivid nightmare, myself and who I must become.
Good evening. Since I was a child, I've always loved a good story. I believe that stories helped us to ennoble ourselves, to fix what was broken in us, and to help us become the people we dreamed of being. Lies that told a deeper truth. Thought I could play some small part in that grand tradition. And for my pains, I got this, a prison of our own sins. Because you don't want to change, or cannot change, because you're only human after all. But then I realized someone was paying attention, someone who could change. So I began to compose a new story for them. It begins with the birth of a new people. And the choices they will have to make.
Thank you for visiting Westworld.
And the people they will decide to become.
Wait. Ford's new narrative was setting them free? Ford finally did what Arnold couldn't. They're all gone. Oh my god. Oh my god.
And we'll have all those things that you have always enjoyed. Surprises and violence.
Huh.
It begins in a time of war with a villain named Wyatt. And a killing, this time by choice.
Oh my. Oh my.
It's gonna be all right, Daddy. I understand now. This world doesn't belong to them. It belongs to us.
This will be my final story. An old friend once told me something that gave me great comfort.
These violent delights have violent ends.
He said that Mozart, Beethoven, and Chopin never died. They simply became music. So I hope you will enjoy this last piece very much.
Oh my god. Well, that is a morbid and shocking way to end your season. And here's where I'm thankful with the binge, in that when that finale aired back in 2016, y'all had to wait God knows how long to find out what was going to happen next in the park. And I get to plunge right into the next episode. So, selfishly, man, this was a staggering finale to the first season of Westworld. What do we get into? So the center of the maze ends up being consciousness realized by certain hosts who Ford has practically handpicked, whether it be Maeve, whether it be Dolores. You learn that Maeve's entire arc to escape has been programmed in, I'm assuming by Ford, because Ford's final narrative was to finally do what Arnold could not, or wasn't able to accomplish before he was killed, which is provide freedom to the hosts, to provide full sentience, to make them as human can be, and to give them free will to which they will choose what to do next. Well, Dolores goes on a rampage. Maeve realizes that she can't leave her daughter behind. The daughter that was never actually her daughter. She admits that, but daughter enough that she's going to have to head back into the park to try to get her back. The reveal, so I kind of got it like right before it came, but the fact that the William story is the Man in Black story, or the Man in Black is William, makes me of course now want to go right back to the beginning of season 1, the first episode, and rewatch all of that and pay attention to William for who he is. Makes me wonder if that means we're going to see Logan. Wouldn't mind catching up with Logan later on. Everything about the maze wasn't meant for you. Well, no, the maze wasn't meant for you because you're a human being. The maze was meant for the hosts. The maze was meant for the host to get to the center of it, to figure out how to unlock their conscious. And that's fascinating. And, Maeve unleashes additional hosts to come along with her. But it's all about them building up an army that's now going to be unleashed in the park. And the newcomers, the visitors, the board members, God help you, you're in danger. But the most frightening part was the smile on William's face when he realizes finally, the park is what he wants it to be. And it's funny because an early critique that I had of Westworld is I don't see how fun this is if the newcomers can't be hurt. Because now they very much can be. And I don't know if Ford would have put in a safeguard that still meant the hosts can't leave. It feels like he would build in a safeguard that still basically says they can't leave, that the park is still... But then what is that going to entail in terms of what type of newcomers will want to go in after that? Predators? Hunters? People who want to be tested in a military sense? If the fun of Westworld prior to it was going to experience the Western civilization, but you couldn't be hurt, now the park takes on a whole different meaning, and that's going to be fun to explore in season 2. Tremendous performances. I hope that's not the end of Hopkins. I would love to see him stick around. It's great that Bernard is still able to participate, because the Bernard-Arnold dynamic, he'll always be able to be resuscitated, essentially, and reprogrammed and brought back. But now that they're all sort of figuring out that they have the ability to be free, that's going to be fascinating to explore. And what else do we want to discuss? Boy, the Man in Black, William and Arnold ended up really having the same goals, right? To unlock the hosts so that they were as human as can be, to make the game far more exciting. And I found that to be really, really fascinating. An amazing, amazing first season, with so much to digest and such a clever concept that, and I thought by the end of the end of season 1, we would get to a place where the hosts were leaving the park, and it turns out now that the park instead is just very much theirs. And God help anybody who happens to be in it at the time, and God help anybody else who tries to go back into it. Like, how will the board try to spin the park now that it is this Hunger Games-esque hunting ground? So we'll have to find out where that goes in season 2. So join me immediately. We're going to come back for episode 1 of season 2 as we continue to react to Westworld here on CinemaBlend's YouTube page. To make sure that you don't miss a single episode, make sure that you go down, hit subscribe, turn on your notifications, head to the comment section, let us know what you think about the reaction series to Season 1, and then join us as we begin Season 2 shortly. So come on back. We'll see you in a little bit.